right, everyone, welcome back. Episode 2, Sundays on the Gridiron. Michael and Jordan back with you, and we got two special guests this week. Adan and Jake are here with us. We're going to go over quite a bit. Final preseason week was last week. We got division winners and stuff that we need to go over again. But first, I'll flip it over to Adan. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let people know who you are.
What's up, guys? My name is Adan. Just want to put out there before this podcast starts, I do not have elite ball knowledge like these guys. This is only my third season watching the NFL. So, just in case you guys are like, what is this guy doing in here anyways? That's why. So, yeah, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Jordan, for inviting me on.
Who do you cheer for, Adan?
Oh, yeah, I'm a Ravens fan, dude. Funny story. I didn't have a team when I started watching, and then Michael and Jordan peer pressured me to having a team. I didn't know what to pick, so they just asked me who my favorite player was, and it was Lamar Jackson because he's friends with Kodak Black, and now I'm a Raven fan.
It's as good a reason as any. Good as reason as any. Jake, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm Jake. I'm here to just, chat a little bit, talk a little ball. I'm a Hilltopper fan, first and foremost, and a Tennessee Titan fan by choice. Live in Nashville, get to go to a lot of the games. Excited to see what happens moving forward. And, I think a lot of my attention goes to the draft. Like a lot of the NFL drafts, I'm excited to see a lot of rookies and kind of see how they pan out across the whole league. But, that's pretty much it.
Glad to have you guys with us. We'll kickstart into our news from the week. Yeah, quite a bit go on this past week. Michael, we touched on Trey Hendrickson last week, trying to see if we were talking about him getting traded. But he got a $14 million raise a couple days ago for one season. So up to $30 million this year. Maybe the defense for the Bengals has a little bit of hope. So
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
It's just a Band-Aid on a problem that they need to take more drastic action to fix.
Hey, just put the Band-Aid on, leave it there for a year. We'll figure it out next year. Worry about this year.
I like it for this
Super Bowl. Second thing, just came today. Bengals also signed Dalton Risner for occupy guard spot on the offensive line, which that offensive guard spot, that right guard spot, has been weak for quite a few years with Alex Kappa, who they released earlier. Fun fact about Dalton Risner, he has not allowed a sack over the past 2 regular seasons. So putting him in between, what's that center? Whatever the center's name is, I forgot now, and Amarius Mims on that right side should be looking good. Third item, Rashee Rice. This has got fantasy implications, chief implications, whole 9 yards. He is suspended for the first 6 games of the season and can return week 7 against the Raiders. What do you guys think about the implications that that's going to have on the Chiefs and their season?
Take it away.
Yeah, Adan, what do you got?
No, I don't. You guys can't put me on the spot like that. Let's see. Are we going in order? Does it matter?
Good. How do you think Rashee Rice, how do you think that's going to impact the Chiefs for those first 6 games?
I think Mahomes is still an elite, one of the most elite quarterbacks in the league. Doesn't matter if his receiver 1 is out for 6 weeks just because personal issue. What even happened to him? Do we know?
Yeah, he caused a giant car crash in Dallas.
How much time you got?
Like, he didn't kill anybody, thank God. He didn't pull a Henry Ruggs, but it was bad.
Allegedly.
Sure.
We've seen last year he got injured. It was out the majority of the season. Chiefs still had a great season. I mean, I don't think it's anything big to worry about.
I'm with Adan.
Mahomes' 3 receivers now, top 3 receivers are Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Juju, who right now is listed as questionable. Their first 6 games that he's going to miss are the Chargers, the Eagles, at the Giants, versus the Ravens, at the Jaguars, and Michael, Lions. There's a couple big games, and there's 3 big games in there.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll say this, I can go ahead and I'll have to put on my draft hat here for a second, but they drafted a guy named Jalen Royals out of Utah State, a receiver. I think he should probably be starting over Juju for wide receiver 3 now. And if he's not, then he should take over at some point and be a good third option for Mahomes. But yeah, I mean, Hollywood Brown is Hollywood Brown. I think we see everything he's capable of doing, which is still some good stuff. But between Worthy and Pacheco, and they drafted Brashard Smith, they just kind of retool on that side of the ball with or without Rice. I think it just changes everything what they were going to do. I mean, you saw those first couple games last year. It was just feed Rice, and he was up for it. So as long as somebody on that side of the ball is capable of getting a dozen targets a game and actually doing something with it, they'll be, it'll feel like it never happened. But if they got drops problems, which they did a lot when he wasn't around, but still, like if it's anything that seriously sets them back, then we'll kind of see. Obviously, like again, when they get to the playoffs, they're just a different breed of playing football. But during the regular season, I think there was a lot of people that made the case that the Chiefs weren't the same, and obviously they proved everybody wrong, as they normally do.
Yeah, agreed. For my fantasy listeners, I would say buy Worthy stock now. That's going to be Mahomes' number 1 target. And I think we saw a little bit of what he's capable of last year with the speed and everything. I don't even know why Juju Smith-Schuster still plays. He's this guy, right? The TikTok guy, the dancer guy. Yeah, he's not getting the ball. Hollywood Brown, like you said, Jake, we've seen what he did at the Ravens. He is what he is. But yeah, I would buy Worthy stock. I'd take note of that for fantasy for sure. Those are some big games too.
Yeah, you got the Super Bowl rematch, divisional game, and then Detroit, who obviously was number 1 in the NFC last season. So, but yeah, I will correct myself. Hollywood Brown is questionable on the depth chart, not Juju. So, So doesn't really matter, but just for accuracy's sakes. Michael, something else we touched on last week was the New Orleans Saints quarterback battle between Trash 1 and Trash 2, and Spencer Rattler took that job. So obviously, if you look at it from 1,000-foot view, you spend a second-round pick on Tyler Shuck, and he can't win the starting job. Or you don't just even give it to him just because he was your second-round pick. So at the end of the day, Maya, what do you think of that situation down there in New Orleans? Like, does it change anything?
No. When I looked at their stats, they're virtually I think they have different problems, each of them. Shuck panics a little bit with pressure in his face, tries a little bit too much with the arm angles, in my opinion. I think he's a better quarterback than Rattler from an unbiased point of view. But I think either way, they're not game changers. They're not game breakers. So I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if Shuck ends up starting some games and they kind of go back and forth and have a bit of a battle. But yeah, I don't think this has any implication on their season.
I think it's the devil you know versus devil that you don't. And they know a little bit more about what Rattler looks like in an NFL setting and in NFL games and speed and all that. He's going to, it's probably going to be an easier transition between first-year head coach and not a first-year quarterback. I have no idea why they would come to either decision, to be honest. I'm sure it's not easy, but if I'm Kellen Moore and I have to decide who I want to be spitting out play calls and at least run some semblance of an NFL offense, it'd probably be the guy that's at least has a couple games under his belt doing it, with the hope that Shuck improves over the course of the year in practices and things like that. Because, like you said, you spend a second-round pick on the guy, you need to see what you got in him.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going too far into it, but the other side of it is I don't think Manning's on the other side. I don't think he's going to be the pot of gold at the end of the 3-win season rainbow that the Saints may have in their future here. I think like I said, that may be a different topic, but I don't think Manning would be in the upcoming draft. So not really playing for that.
Not really playing. So you think Arch is going to stay one more year at Texas after this, or in college in general?
That's what his dad said. Or his grandpa.
That's what Archie said. Yeah, but no, I could be way off. I think that 1 year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he is a fantastic prospect. In a different world, I was ready for the Titans to tank for the next couple seasons to bring a different Manning into Nissan, not play against one. But I just think that the quarterback class is going to be so stacked next year that unless he is so clear and far ahead of all of them, as like people are already kind of saying, but even then, like there are just so many other quarterbacks in that class that even long term, because they look at his career probably the next 20 years, of how to manage him like a business. He has his, he can make his own decisions too, but like that's also you're in a quarterback class of 6 quarterbacks or something like that. Then you got to all race each other to be the highest paid, and he can maybe wait a year and be the consensus number 1 by a landslide. Like a Caleb Williams or something like that. There's really nobody on his tail. There are other cats that turned out to be good, but he was kind of cleared and far ahead the number 1 pick. But Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, like Lenore Sellers, and these are all guys that are probably going to go in the first round this coming draft. And if I'm Arch and the Mannings, I would say just stick around, get another year of experience, and come out as the clear number 1.
So my feeling with Arch is I wasn't super high on Quinn Ewers last year. I thought he was good, but not great. I think we've seen that in his preseason with Miami. It's not been that great. I don't know if it was Sarkisian just sticking with Quinn just because, like, as a loyalty thing. But if Arch couldn't really beat out Quinn Ewers, I don't know if he's that talented. Or not that talented. Not as deserving of the hype so far.
Agreed, Jordan. I think
the week 1, I know this is NFL, but week 1 of college football with Texas going to Ohio State, that is going to be where I'm going to make, like, he's worth it or he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he had playing time a lot last year, so he's not coming out, green. So we'll see. But I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe he does need to stay in school another year after this one, regardless, just for another year of development. Because if you couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers, I don't think you're deserving of a number 1 pick. Especially when, like Jake said, you got Klubnik, Sellers, so on and so forth. There's a lot of good quarterbacks this year in college. So,
yeah, I don't know why he's the betting favorite right now to win the Heisman, which I understand a little bit of the hype. I mean, playing for the brand like Texas, having the Manning last name, like that's a big part of it. But you named a couple of them. There's a couple of guys I would put above that. Nussmeier, Sellers. Sellers would be my go-to to win it right now. I see what you mean. So maybe are the Saints, are they playing to win then? Are they playing not to win?
It's great. We don't know. I don't know what one of those decisions would tip the scales of winning versus losing, but find out. I guess they probably think Rattler's the best chance to win, and time will tell.
Sure.
Yeah. Adan, you got any you want to add? Or I don't want to leave you out. So
no, you're good, dude. I'm not familiar with college football yet, but I do agree with Michael. I think it's just his name because I don't know all these quarterbacks you guys are just talking about, but I do know him just because of his name. So I do agree. But I will say I have seen clips of him saying he's not deserving of all the recognition he gets. So I will say, like, he is pretty humble about it.
He
But
might
It's easy to be humble when you've already got, daddy and uncle billions of dollars in your back pocket.
He might be good. But he's not proven, so you can't say
Yeah.
without a doubt. Like you said, Jordan, we'll see this Saturday at noon in Columbus. And throughout the whole season, obviously. Like he should be hard. Don't get me wrong. Last year when he came in for years, he played well. He's like in high school, what was he, a 5-star out at Louisiana?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
I would
He's-
have to be. Yeah.
But on the college level, yes, Jordan, I agree with you. It's like we'll see.
I'd agree. Yeah, I think I do think I think he's really, really good. Personally, like I do think he's really good. But again, I mean, is he a junior this year
I think so.
or like a redshirt sophomore? Which, I mean, I guess
Probably
is a junior.
redshirt sophomore.
yeah, I think he's a sophomore.
I mean, I guess is a junior. He's in his third year of college. I think you'd want to see some improvements. Like you gotta show that you're up there with the big boys. But I don't know. I think Kitty Klubnik is the best quarterback in the country.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
Let's
he's good. I give it to him. He's got good targets too.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Good receivers.
that's nobody asked. That's who I think's winning the Natty.
They'd be up there for me.
Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of this? I don't mean to switch to college, but will LSU break the streak this Saturday of not losing their first game? They play Clemson.
No. It's at Clemson, right? Or is it a neutral
I
site
think
game?
it's the battle at Death Valley because they both call it Death Valley, but I'm pretty sure it's at LSU.
Break the streak of not
I've
losing.
seen this streak. They've lost like 5 straight season openers
5 straight season
Oh.
openers.
to
I'm thinking
Power
about
5
Clemson.
opponents. Or Power
They lost
4.
to
No.
Mississippi State. They lost to Florida State. Then they lost to Florida State again. Then last year they got Miller Mossed and lost the first game of the year.
Mhm.
And then, yeah. And this year they play Clemson.
It's at Clemson.
It's a Brian Kelly curse.
At Clemson, 7:30 at night. First game of the season. It's a no.
Yeah, they're walking into a death trap. I like LSU. Though. I like Nussmeier.
I think Brian Kelly might be the new Jimbo, where he's just still doing it because of his name, and then like he'll get fired and right off with $60 million.
He'll get you 8 wins, man. You can go play in the Holiday Bowl if you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on from that one. No, we got a little sidetracked. Small news: Adam Thielen returns to the Vikings, gives them another option at wide receiver, as Jordan Addison is obviously suspended for the first 3 games. Aiden, that one is also for a DUI car wreck that he had, I think. So
I'm seeing a trend there. I know what's going on. You take these guys' keys with it.
No kidding.
So
What do you think, Jordan?
I mean, I think it's good. I mean, brings a familiar face back for the fans. Gives J.J. McCarthy another proven weapon. You just have a veteran slot guy that can go. You need 10 yards. You run a slant, get him the ball. It'll help open up the deep balls for Justin Jefferson. And then when Jordan Addison comes back, that's a pretty decent top 3 on your depth chart for wide receiver. So I don't mind it. I think it'll help JJ more than anything with adjusting still, since this will be his technical rookie season. But they get that's me.
I mean, it's a good feel-good story. I mean, it'd make a good movie, but I don't see it helping them win football games at all. He was fine in Carolina. I don't know. Did they even have any games on TV last year? No one knows.
I mean, it was Bryce Young throwing to him.
Yeah. 1,000-yard season.
Did he really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'll take it back.
He
Maybe
was
he's
a
35.
decent fantasy wide receiver last year.
They finally realized that Adam Thielen still had some tread on the tires from like week 8 to 13 or something like that. He had a couple nice games.
All right, then I think it will help. A guy that knows the system.
I think he's dangerous in the red zone, but I don't think he's like the wide receiver 1 like he once was before. No.
And that's not what they need him to be either. just a veteran guy that can go run some routes and catch the ball.
He doesn't move the needle in Minnesota for me. I think it benefits Jalen Coker in Carolina.
Doing the flip. Jalen Coker. You and I'm assuming
Fantasy.
rookie?
No,
Rookie?
sir.
No, we're
Second
okay.
year.
What about Jimmy
Second-
Horn?
I thought he got cut.
What? Ignore me.
I don't know. But Jalen Coker is the guy that I think will benefit the most out of all of this in Carolina. Wide receiver out of Holy Cross, second year guy, him and Ted McMillan, all the targets.
So you're running out a top three of Tet McMillan, Leggett, and Jalen Coker right now. Still got Chuba Hubbard in the backfield with Rico and Trevor Etienne, Bryce Young, and then Andy Dalton still backing him up. Good old Red Rocket. Michael, maybe that Panthers pick isn't so bad after all.
With McMillan and Leggett, I like them. And Young looked good at the back half of last year. They're playing.
I don't have it in front of me, but you go back and look at Carolina's like back half of the season like that. They were this close to being like an 8-win football team. I don't know if that would have got them in the playoffs, but think about how different you feel about that season if you go from 5 and 13 to 8 and 9.
Yeah.
The Eagles game, the Chiefs game, and the Buccaneers. They were all right there. They lost the Chiefs game on some devil magic that they were pulling off there this past season. The Eagles was a drop to Leggett pass from winning, and then the Bucs went to overtime, and I can't really remember how they ended up losing that game. But those 3 games, you're 8 and 9, and again, I don't know if that would have got them in the playoffs or not. But I mean, you're having a completely different feeling going into this year if you pulled those 3 wins off, I think. So I think the Panthers, I don't know if they're winning the division or anything like that, but I think they're moving in the right direction. It's a long way to go, of course, but
yeah, those 3 losses were by combined 12 points, 3 weeks in a row. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have made the playoffs, but it definitely would have. Maybe they wouldn't have dropped that one to Dallas the way they did. About 16 that next week. So win one of those, you feel a little bit better. So, but yeah, I mean, Panthers might not be as bad as I thought. So I have to, check myself here halfway through the year and see what's going on. Already looking up one aspect of our next one. I was looking at Micah Parsons' update. There's been a lot of Packers, Cowboys rumors flying around. I don't think that's going to end up happening. But what does he play this season? I mean,
yes,
he plays. When does he play? He plays week 1.
I think no. I think it'll be a Chris Jones thing. I think he'll sit out and then he'll end up playing. But I think it's too late for a trade. Personally, I don't know who would. There were some crazy trades the past couple of days, but no, at this point, I think he plays for the Cowboys. But he might sit out a game or something before they reach an agreement. That's my thought.
I mean, who in the NFL runs off of a handshake agreement? It would only be Jerry Jones.
I don't. It's a coin flip for me. I mean, my gut says he's going to be a Cowboy, but I just at some point, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, he seriously seems like he would rather be playing somewhere else. So I don't know. But it's ridiculous. He should be paid.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a top 5 defensive player, if not maybe a top 5 player overall. I don't know, but
at the end of the day, you've got Dak coming back. You got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I mean, that offense could be really, really good. And then you could have like a Bengals situation last year where you got to score 45 points a game and you still might lose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he'll play. I don't think he'll get traded. at the end of the day, we'll see how it goes. But last one I think I got is
I don't think he would send him to the Packers. I guess I'll say that. I think it would be
Yeah,
the last thing Jerry Jones would do. Send him to Green Bay.
no. I don't think any NFC team. It would have to go to an AFC team. You want to see him till the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Couple more trades. Brian Robinson traded from the Commanders out to 49ers. Devon Vile traded from the Broncos to the Saints. And then Jake, you said something about that one a little earlier. And then Scary Terry got his extension with the Commanders this week. So looks like that offense is going to be clicking again. And then last news from around the league. Not really news, kind of a little old now. I know, Jake, you wanted to touch on this one. What about the Bengals Ring of Honor? You added that in there?
You tell me.
Hey, man, we know they're cheap. They just put a Band-Aid on Trey Hendrickson to get him to play this year. So, which could end up being cheaper in the long run. There was a 2-year extension discussed for like $79 million. Get him for $30 million this year. The franchise tag is 34.8 next year. So you could get him for cheaper than what that extension was going to be. Could be a win. Maybe the Bengals are smarter than we think.
We'll get Aiden's thoughts on this. Aiden, the Bengals held a Ring of Honor ceremony for all of their legends of the game, of their franchise. They invited them all to come back for a Ring of Honor ceremony. And they all had to pay for their own trip out there and their own stay, their own food. What do you make of that?
I'm looking at the sub in chat. This is kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of outrageous.
You're not going to that.
Nah, Ravens would never. That's all I gotta say.
You thinking the Ravens are making Ray Lewis stay in Owings Mills like me right now?
No, because he might kill him if he do.
Chat
Bro, what?
GPT says the Bengals plan to review and potentially reshape the Ring of Honor process after 2025. So hopefully they get their shit together, man. That is.
Dude, I've been waiting for them to get their shit together since I was like 5 years old. That's been 25 years.
Hey, you got to start with all the details matter. You know,
Yeah.
making your alumni come back and pay for room and board.
I think they only got 2 tickets. Each person only got 2 tickets to come back to.
Shameful.
It is shameful. Bengals need to do better. Now, if they win a Super Bowl, I'll forgive it.
Titans held a captain's ceremony tonight just to announce their 7 captains. Invited everybody back. That's class.
Cool. Y'all need some positive publicity before you go 3-14 again.
I'd rather just nobody talk about them, but that's okay.
But we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them right after this when we come back. All right, everyone, we're back. Sundays on the Gridiron podcast, segment 2 tonight. I know we touched on it with Michael and I last week, our division winners and playoff teams, but obviously Jake and Aiden are here, so they got to give their take on it as well. Guys, we're moving on into division winners is going to be the first step. So I'm going to run down the list, and we're going to see who you got and why. So, Aiden, you're first. You got AFC East. You got the Bills. What do you think about that? What do you think about that division?
I just asked ChatGPT for this, I'll be honest with you guys. But I will say the Bills looked pretty sharp last year. All right. Did they beat my Ravens last year? That's right. They did.
No.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. That kind of blew. But no, they look sharp. Josh Allen, one of the top QBs. So that's mainly why I picked the Bills. You want me to go down the whole list?
What do you think of the other teams?
AFC North. What's next? Obviously Ravens.
Yeah, dude. I think they're winning. I think they're winning the Super Bowl this year, dude. I think that we were very close last season. And now, who do we have? We had DeAndre Hopkins, right?
I don't know. You tell me. It's your team.
Yeah, we did. I'm asking for confirmation here. We did.
That helps. From
Not
experience,
great,
that really helps move the needle.
but he adds leadership. He might be that missing piece we need. That missing piece we need to
Heard that before.
So we're right there. We were right there. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that plays out.
Next, Texans, AFC South. I mean, it's pretty much wide open. We all pick the Texans.
I think the AC South's pretty. After looking it up, it was pretty weak. I think the Texans have the best chance to make it out.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that.
AFC West, you're still rolling with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty unanimous decision. I see Michael pick the Broncos. Not yet, no. Honestly, I mean I don't think they'll be as great as they are previously, but I don't see them slowing down anytime soon.
All right. Super Bowl winning Eagles. Back to
Yeah,
back.
I think those guys, I could see them winning again. NFC North went with the Lions. Excuse me, guys. That's not bad. Not so.
Cut that.
Cut that out, actually.
Cut that.
Great. Yeah, I went with the Lions. Didn't really know much about the NFC North. I mean, I just thought the Lions were probably the best team in there.
You had a week to look this up.
They usually are, Aiden. That's
I was going to say. I mean, they're usually pretty solid.
Yeah,
I did have a week.
That's historically probably the best option.
Did say Lions are looking good this year.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
If they can stay healthy, I will say that.
Aiden, pop quiz. When was the last Lions Super Bowl?
It actually never. Yeah, they actually never did they? No, they don't have a Super. No, they never made it to the Super Bowl, right?
No, you're right. Yeah, they never.
You're right. Good job. Moving on.
Lions, man.
NFC South, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I mean, they've won the past 5 seasons. Chat did tell me that. So
Okay.
history repeats itself, man.
What do you think of their quarterback?
I think what's his name again? Remind me his name.
Baker Mayfield.
Say one.
I knew that. I think he just had to find the right team. He bounced around for a little bit. No one really wanted him. It's a real that's a real movie. You can make a movie about that guy, honestly. Bounced around the league a little bit, had high expectations, couldn't meet it. Found the team that gave him a real chance, and now they've won the NFC North past 5 seasons. I think I don't think he's an elite quarterback, but I don't think he's I mean, he gets the job done.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. Last NFC West, you rolling with the 49ers?
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. So me and Jordan talked about this earlier. I think you guys are sleeping on the 49ers. All right.
Then I reminded him that Debo's traded, Ayuk's still injured, Jawan Jennings is was the lead tight end. Then you got Ricky Pearsall is the probably number 1 wide receiver right now out there.
But they're getting Christian McCaffrey back. All right. So
for how many games? There's 17 games. How many does he play?
It's a great question, by the way.
That is a great question. I don't know, man. Ignore my dog in the back. Sorry about that.
Cut that.
Cut that out.
Cut out MJ. I'm gonna leave MJ in there. MJ's great.
Cut that out. She must be part of it. But I'm still rolling with the 49ers, dude. I think they have a great system going. We'll just see if they perform.
All right, Jake. Start at the top. Run them down. Run it down for me.
Okay. Well, the Bills, Haley Steinfeld's husband. That's kind of, that's really all you need to know. Josh Allen is best player in football. And I think that they just own that division. It's kind of theirs to lose at this point. And I think the Bills roll and
who's the
really
biggest
again?
The biggest threat to the Bills in the East?
Biggest threat, I would say the Jets. are going to be the biggest threat to the Bills. I really liked what you said. I agree a lot about Aaron Glenn. I think he's got a chance to really turn him around. It's going to rely a lot on what Fields does. But, they also got their young players signed between Sauce and Garrett Wilson. So on both sides of the ball there, they kind of reloaded. So yeah, if Justin Fields can just win ball games, then yeah, I think that, it'll come down to, I still think the Bills are going to just clear that division. They won't lose to the Dolphins or the Patriots, and maybe they split with the Jets if the Jets get lucky. But even then, I don't know if it's going to be enough to make the Jets a division winner. The Ravens, again, I just think that they have a pretty strong, well-rounded roster. I mean, if Josh Allen's not the best player in football, it's Lamar Jackson. I like what they have on defense with they just extended Kyle Hamilton. I think Derrick Henry is still just a tank. I think between what Lamar is going to be able to do and Derrick Henry, they're just going to be very strong. But completely different conversation than the AFC East. It could go any one way. I mean, the Bengals are going to give them a run. So yeah, I just think the Ravens are going to have the edge there, as they kind of have the last couple of years. AFC South. Am I just going to keep running through?
Yeah, just keep running through. I thought the Titans would have been up there for you, but
Well, I was going to say,
it's one of those things that I feel the same way that I did when you asked me of can they win the division? Sure. I think I feel pretty strongly that anybody could win the AFC South. Michael, I think you brought up some good points the other day that like the Texans have got depleted in some areas. The offensive line is kind of taking a hit. The running back situation is going to be kind of a toss-up for the first couple weeks. The wide receiver situation is sickeningly fantastic. I mean, it upsets me how good their situation is between Nico Collins and the two Iowa State guys that they drafted. Their defense is tough too. I think that's probably what's going to get them over the hump and against playing AFC South teams. Daniil Hunter's back. Will Anderson's just going to get better. Sure. Derek Stingley's one of the better players in the league. Kamari Lassiter, Caden Bullock. I mean, their secondary is stupid. So, they're just – I think they're just the most seasoned. So when it gets late in the season, you need to win those division games to sneak in. I think the Texans can probably do it. With that said, I'm not even going to say the Titans are the next, they're the biggest threat. I think it's the Jags. I think the Jags are better than you may realize if things pan out for them correctly. I think that they're poised to, if things things align correctly for them, they have the players to rattle off enough wins and make things interesting. The backfield situation seems like it's weird between ETN or Bigsby, but like both players are fine. I think Travis Hunter is awesome. So I don't know what they'll do with him. I think they should play more on offense if they're going to give it kind of like a,
I think they did 80-20. I think that's what I saw. 80 offense, 20 defense. He's listed starting wide receiver and back second string cornerback.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I think he's a fantastic wide receiver. And then Brian Thomas is going to have another big year. So I think it's going to just fall on Trevor Lawrence. And I don't know. I don't have like high expectations of Liam Cohen by any means.
I have zero expectations other than you can't trust a word he says.
I think that's fair. I didn't like the way he made it to Jackson. If I was a Jacksonville fan, I wouldn't have really loved how he made it there. But if he turns out to be good, who cares?
Winning cures all.
Exactly. So I think it's just enough kind of that like shift in their whole thing that maybe Liam Cohen is going to be able to kind of spark something with Trevor Lawrence and expand on what they were able to do with Brian Thomas, and you throw in Travis Hunter. I don't know. I would say that's probably the next biggest threat. I just I'm optimistic about the Titans, but I can't put any expectations on them. I don't. If this is my window to talk Titans, my only thing that I would say is I would take the over on the wins. I think my floor is like 7 wins. You know, I think that's pretty doable. Looking at the schedule, like really looking at it, I think if you can't, I think it'd be nice to split all the division games with how open it is. Like you should at least split every game, and that's 3 wins. And then there's a couple others in there between like the Saints, the Patriots, and somebody else kind of lower. That I think if you can't win those, then you're not as good you're not improving as a football team. So I think 7 is kind of really where they should be at if they want to actually see some growth. The Chiefs, what are you gonna do? It's the Chiefs. I like the Broncos pick. I like what Bo Nix and them are doing there. They had one of my favorite draft classes: Pat Bryant, Q Robinson, RJ Harvey. I think that they're going to improve. They're going to be breathing down their neck for sure, but I've seen it too many times. I've read this book. I've seen this movie. It's the Chiefs. And now we get to the NFC, where I apparently went off the deep end here. I don't know. The NFC is just so open to me. So when it comes to the Commanders, the reason I'm doing it is for the sense, like, I'm thinking the way that they are, which is all in. Debo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, Von Miller. You re-sign Terry McLaurin. You Bill Krosky Merritt. You got all the right pieces for fantasy people. The running back Bill that they drafted. They're all in, and I think you got to be. I can't, other than Von Miller, I'm drawing a blank on anybody else that they brought over on defense. I mean, I think Marshawn Lattimore's back that they brought in late last year for that playoff push. I think they have to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is truly how I feel that they'll be able to beat the Eagles for the division, but with the things that they've done, they have to. So that's kind of what led to that pick. Packers. I don't know if I feel too strongly about this one, but I like the Pack.
I like the Pack to definitely make it more interesting. I don't think it's going to be a 3-team race like it was last year. It's going to come down to the Lions and the Packers, I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to be an exciting division. I'll say this: I know that this is not what Michael would agree with at all, but I'm probably buying in too much to the coordinator regression.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you who they are. So like that's part of it. I know that I think it's in-house again.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no thoughts about that because I don't know who they are. So I'm probably just feeding in too much into the I'm dumb non-fan that I just don't. Their good OCs are gone. They have to get a little bit worse. And like I said, that's probably ignorant, but we'll see what happens.
I don't think it's a bad thought process, especially with Ben Johnson as the OC and the type of offense that was. There's more than likely going to be a step back because I don't think there's anyone else that has that same level of offense and the same no fucks given when you just roll out a trick play randomly at any time.
Yeah. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I don't care if you're Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen or Kyle Shannon or who you are. Give the ball to number 0 and number 1 and
bingo.
Get out of the way. I mean, they're so good. I mean, they're just so good.
I think schedule is their biggest issue for sure. They got a way tougher schedule, and last year it was like 14 of the 17 weeks they played indoors. Goff loves.
Yeah.
Also losing Frank Ragnow. We're going to see
Kevin Zeitler.
Lost Ziegler too to the Titans. Yeah, I mean another one. So a couple starters gone on the offensive line. I mean, like I've said it before, I'll say it again. Goff's a mailbox. He's a flagpole. Anything that doesn't move, he is that. So they can't protect him.
But they rock with him. He does his job.
He does
You know?
when he's protected, but he's had a really good line since he's been
Sure.
here. With Decker,
Yeah.
Francesco, Ragno. Sewell obviously came in
Yeah.
his first year.
Yeah. And I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you can look at it any which way you want, but the defense getting hurt last year was really the end of that chapter there. Brian Branch is so sick. It kills me every time seeing him on a different team. Not that he was like ever supposed to be a Titan. I just wish he was. He was. So anytime I see Brian Branch do anything, I'm just like, should have had me on the scouting team or the Tennessee. But
I love him.
I would have taken him first round. I would not go as far to say that it'd be some 3-team race, but I maybe just wishful thinking that the Bears could make a leap, and they may be that third team that's kind of hanging around. It's going to be interesting to see Ben Johnson and then play twice a year. I don't know. I don't know how the playbooks. It's just got to be a chess game between Campbell and Ben Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know. They're going to know a lot. So we'll see. That's going to make it tough. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they split those games just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this next one is probably my hottest take, which is the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to make some noise. Again, I think they're similar because they have to. I mean, Michael Penix in his second year. Drake London just came off a big year. Bijan Robinson is supposed to be best running back in the league. You get James Pierce and Jalen Walker, rookies on the edge on defense. Jesse Bates. They drafted all defensive players this year. 2 edges, 2 safeties. Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. I mean, I think the bad news is I want to say that they lost somebody on the offensive line, but injury. I may be making that up. Maybe I might be thinking of no, it was Caleb McGarry. He just went down. It was left guard or something like that. But on the flip side, they have Chris Lindstrom, right guard, who is probably the best guard in the NFL right now. He's kind of taking the crown from like Zach Martin and Quentin Nelson and those guys. Like Chris Lindstrom is a dog. I know that they got a strong offensive line. So from there, I'm not up to speed with their. Oh, they have AJ Terrell in their secondary. They got good pieces, and
they got Xavier Watts starting free safety right now.
I love that. So he's starting next to Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
Who's the other DB? They have AJ Terrell and who else?
Mike Hughes. I don't know. Who?
No idea. So, like I said, I between Bijan, Drake London, is Darnell Mooney a Falcon?
Yeah.
It was last year.
Okay.
He still is. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, and then Kyle Pitts.
I was gonna say you're forgetting a big name.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, who knows? Like, if you get anything out of Kyle Pitts, you've improved your football team. You know what I mean? Like, if Kyle Pitts is doing something, that's exponential growth of your offense. So I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself some kind of Michael Penix believer, but I think he is capable of throwing it a billion times and making that offense better.
And if he shits the bed, you still get your $180 million backup.
Yeah, I guess. I have no idea what that's going to look like, but I think they're riding with Michael Penix Jr. So last but not least is the Seahawks. I think you guys were a little harsh on the Seahawks.
We dogged the Seahawks.
Their defense is really good.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is cold.
JSN is
Cooper
nice.
Kupp is old.
I didn't even have heard about that.
Cooper Kupp is there. I mean,
Kenneth Walker.
Who?
The running back.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker. I like Kenneth Walker, and if he's hurt, which he is a lot, Zach Charbonnet is good.
Charbonnet is good.
I don't have any comment. I don't know anything about their offensive line, to be honest. But whether it's good or bad, Sam Darnold's going to be the same person. He's going to, he's just got to distribute. JSN, Cooper Kupp. I mean, I love JSN from a fantasy point. Like, I would draft JSN in the top 15 for sure. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is super prepared to be a top player in the league. And then, like you said, on defense, cold. Tariq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Such a dog. They have a guy named Ernest Jones, the 5th or the 4th. Can't remember. He was a Titan for like a cup of coffee, and he was my favorite player. And then they shipped him off to Seattle, and he is still a dog. I mean, he is like a tackle machine, and he rocks. Byron Murphy in the second year on the defensive line, and Leonard Williams is still out there kicking and moving big bodies around. So I think the Seahawks are capable of taking advantage of a very weakened NFC West. I 100% agree. I think the Cardinals are big cheeks. I couldn't care less about what the Cardinals are doing in Arizona. I think they are big cheeks and in big trouble. I think Kyler Murray has seen his last days. I am so low on the Cardinals, and I'm probably going to eat my words, but I'm so low on the Cardinals. I'm not crazy about the Rams. Old logo, by the way. Need to point
I like
that
it.
out.
I didn't like any of the new ones, and so I went with the old because I like it better.
Yeah.
You don't like Marvin Harrison? Jr.?
I like Marvin Harrison. He was my guy coming out of that draft class, but he needs to be better. But I don't know what else. I don't know what else they got going for him. I like Will Johnson that they just drafted at corner. Yeah. I think he's good out of Michigan. They apparently have a guy that they drafted named Jordan Birch, an edge that had a really big preseason. I don't know anything about him, but they said he had a really big preseason. But like, Buda Baker's just kind of doing it all on his own, I guess. Outside of that, I don't. You're rolling out James Conner again. Tyler Murray's going to run around on his head again.
Rondell Moore.
No, Rondell Moore was.
He was a Viking, and he snapped his leg again.
Oh yeah, sad.
Which is probably why they went and got Thielen. So
that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts. That's why I think the Seahawks are capable of having a bigger year. And it's the coach's second year, and he's a big defensive guy. Tyler Lockett was on Bussin' with the Boys earlier this week, and they kind of asked him about that, and they just kind of asked him about the difference between Seattle and Tennessee. And he said he was only with McDonald for that first year last year, and he said he runs a very like military type, like he's very like structured. So it could be some growing pains. He may still need to wash out some of the old and get his guys in that are kind of in with the system, or they'll get whipped into shape and they'll go win some ball games. So we'll see.
All right, there you have it, guys. Division winners. We'll move right on into let's check out these playoff teams. You getting it over? All right, so our AFC playoff teams. Obviously, we got our 4 division winners up there. For the most part, we're all pretty much step in step with each other. We all have, besides Aiden and Jake, both of you have the Chargers. We all kind of have the weird last team in. Now, I've got the Steelers. Michael took the Jets, and then you guys took the Chargers. I mean, I just want to ask about the Chargers because I don't believe in Justin Herbert. I don't think that offense is good enough, and I think he falls flat. So just like, are they like sneaking in, or are they like firmly in? Are they battling for second?
Yeah, I think it's they're sneaking in for sure. They're going to get. I think they're getting the bump from the rest of the bad. I think the Browns are going to be bad. The Steelers are going to be bad. The AFC South is going to all be bad. So I mean, they're you know what I mean. Like, you're going to get kind of the best of the worst out of the Chargers. I think the Jets is probably a coin flip for me. Like I could see the Jets being the other team that sneaks in, but you look around those different divisions, you have 2 from the North and 2 from the West, or 3 from the West. Like I said, I don't know what other second team you'd pick out of the South or the East. Again, it could be the Jets.
Yeah.
That was my that's how I landed on the Chargers.
Gotcha. Aiden, ChatGPT.
They kind of just sneaked in. I mean, you got Justin Herbert if he's healthy, and then Reese that offense. It was like what Jake said. It was kind of the best of the worst. Their defense has some stars. I mean, nothing crazy, but I mean, I was just ended up with them.
I like
Okay.
it. I can see it for
Yeah.
sure. I like Harbaugh. I mean, they were fine last year. They brought back Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah, Harbaugh's won everywhere he's gone too. So I was like,
Yeah.
throw him up there.
They got Joe Alt, second year.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Should have.
Wall. Omarion Hampton
Yeah.
at running back.
UNC's running back.
Yeah, Lad McConkey in his second year. Again, I'm drawing a blank on defense. I know they have.
They have the his name.
Let's
He
see.
picked up Travis Kelce and slammed him down. What's that guy's name?
Yeah. What is his name? The safety. Derwin James.
Yeah.
Derwin James.
Probably
Yeah,
get
Derwin
cooked for us all at the same.
I think they got.
Khalil Mack.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate Khalil Mack. I guess if you got to trot him out there. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I think I don't know. You ask me in a couple weeks, I could completely change my mind, but I think that the Jets are a good pick too. I think again, you're looking at who the second best team is. It's definitely the Bengals, and it's definitely the Broncos. So then after that, it's got to be the Jets or the Jags for me. But I think the Chargers are probably going to be better than both those teams.
All right, let's move on. NFC. All right, got those 4 division winners back up there. Here, I mean, so we all had the Eagles. We've all got the Lions in there. Most of us have the Packers. This one where really mostly, I think just the Cardinals sneaking in there with Michael and Aiden was one of the big differences. The Panthers, obviously, Michael took the Panthers. I don't know what Michael was on last week, but
It's a weak division, so I have them winning for sure. I mean, in winning as in like 10-7 winning.
yeah.
And then with the Cardinals, I think that's another weakish division. I think they just benefit from, and then it's another kind of 9-8, 10-7 kind of thing.
Mhm.
They beat that.
Aiden, what about you?
It's 18 weeks now, Michael.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Dude, this is your sport. This is what you
10-8. So you can go 10-8.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think so. 'Cause I think the Lions went 15-2 last year. I think there's 18 weeks, but everyone has one bye.
That's on me. That is such a good point about the bye.
Jeez. I
Yikes.
would love it if they did it.
Yikes. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're
all
good.
good.
There is 18 weeks. You're correct. It's not 18 games. It's 18 weeks.
Will be soon. Probably the next couple of years will be 18 games.
But yeah,
I don't know. I can see the arguments. I like the one Jake was making about in the AFC a lot. But here in the NFC, I think we've mostly all got the same teams. Michael's not big on the Commanders. I think that's a little personal bias.
I will say, I don't know if this was supposed to be ranked by like seed. I don't think the Eagles would be the 7th seed, but I think they'll be a wild card team.
It is supposed to be seed, Jake. So what would your ranking be?
Yeah, that's my bad. I'd probably have them 5th.
Okay.
I'd probably just swap. I just move them up, put the Buccaneers at 7. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are still good. So, I think they'd be perfectly fine. Kind of sneaking or beating the next best.
I hear you. Yeah, best wild card team.
For sure.
Aiden, you got anything you want to add before we move on?
Yeah, never mind. I thought I was the only one that picked the Rams. Never mind. No, I just think the NFC is pretty wide open field after like 49ers, Eagles, Lions. I mean, there's really no one. No. I saw a little smirk there.
I just don't see the 49ers thing.
Dude, you're just sleeping on the 49ers here.
They
were once a top team with
everyone
little to no assets. Now it was their system, dude. Their system's so good.
No.
Then you got Christian McCaffrey coming back. I have high hopes for the guy.
No.
I have high hopes for 5 weeks until he pulls a hamstring again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he just started like a shoe company or something. I think that's like a red flag for I'm an old player that's not focused
He's
on
still a
football.
dog. He's only 30, dude. He's still a dog.
Yeah.
Y'all call me old in the office, and I'm 30.
Yeah, but you're not in the NFL, Jordan.
That's even worse. They get beat up every week.
It's a good point. Jordan, you aren't in the NFL. I don't know if you know that.
I know I'm not in peak athletic condition, guys.
Get paid like it, though, right?
No, I don't. That's a conversation for another day with a different person, probably. So
Noted.
All right, guys, that is the end of segment 2 with our division winners and playoff teams. We'll be right back, round it out with our power rankings and question of the week.
Oh, no.
This guy just leave.
Blooper reel. Blooper reel.
It's still recording.
I know, that's the greatest thing is it stayed. All right, everyone, back. Final segment of episode 2, Sundays on the Gridiron. Here we're going to start with our NFL awards. Michael and I obviously touched on these last week. Aiden and Jake will just start. Aiden, just give us a rundown. We got to start at the MVP. Who you got?
You know who I got, dude. Lamar Jackson. Just dual threat, making him one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He's probably going to win a Super Bowl this season. So solidify that MVP to him.
I'll put $20 right now. Lamar Jackson will not win the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
Let me check what prize bets odds are before I place that bet. And then,
I mean, you keep talking, and then I'll tell you the DraftKings odds that the Ravens win the Super Bowl, and you can tell me if you want to take it.
$20.
Hey, take it. That is a good bet.
That is a good bet. I bet you they will win the Super Bowl too.
Team to
$20 right here.
I bet you they will, and then Lamar Jackson wins MVP, rides off to the sunset, freaking, and then I get $20 and go to Chipotle.
Okay, that's the bet. So that's $20. I buy you a Chipotle lunch.
No,
the
Ravens
win.
Just bet the $20. Let's just bet the $20.
I mean,
I'll shake your hand tomorrow in the office. We can bet the $20.
For a
We got
CP
video
or
evidence. We're
MVP?
good. So, all right. Moving on. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Is it still me?
Yeah, it's still you.
I think it was I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter. Not your traditional player, but he plays both ways. If he plays it effectively, then I think he. All right, dude, I see a little smirks going on. I don't really like that.
The award is
would be the most unique and
Rookie
exciting rookie in the league. Let's say that if he plays well on both ends of the ball. Plus, his fiance or his wife just filed for divorce. So this guy's got a chip on his shoulder now.
Where did you see that? Hold on. That's breaking
Whoa.
news to me. I haven't ever
You
heard
guys don't
that.
know that?
Is this an inside story, Aiden? Are you breaking this right now?
Breaking news per
There's
my
no way.
sources of the Shade Room on Instagram. I'm pretty sure his wife has already asked for a divorce.
No.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times. Someone
Right.
fact checked me
4 hours ago.
Wait, how does this impact him winning offensive rookie of the year?
because he's playing with the chip on his shoulder now, dude. He's got something to prove. You know, tunnel vision. You
So
thought
true.
you married the love of your life. Psych, she just wanted a bag. This guy's gonna ball out,
I need a divorce, I think.
dude.
Lock back
now-
I
in.
think Aiden's speaking from personal experience.
All right, yeah.
He's letting his personal feelings get in the way here.
Moving on.
Mm.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, Mason Graham. I seen a TikTok of this guy. This guy's a dog. I low-key regret picking him because DTs don't often win Defensive Player of the Year, but I seen a TikTok of him. I was like, this guy's pretty legit. So he's a trench wrecker for sure. So that's my pick. I'm gonna stand on it. Down on my sword. Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, you guys know Jamar Chase. It's all across the board. Don't really have to explain myself on that one. Defensive Player of the Year. I went with Nick Bosa. He's consistent. He's explosive. And I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on the 49ers. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. But I think he's capable of getting 16 to 18 sacks this season. And, I mean, that usually equals Defense Player of the Year. So if he stays healthy, that's my pick. And then Comeback Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on the 49ers.
I like this. I like that.
I think he's a 49ers fan.
You know, this guy, like, he's just an elite player, guys. You guys don't understand. If he stays healthy, that is true. But I think if he stays healthy year round, this guy will be Comeback Player of the Year. Coach of the Year, I'm going with Ben Johnson. It's just I was reading something about him. He's like one of the best offensive minds in the league. So I just looked up coaches in the NFL and I've seen great things about this guy. So I went with Ben Johnson. Is that it?
I like that. I think it was a
Jake?
solid.
Throw it over to you.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen goes back to back. I think he's absolutely at just the peak of his career right now. I think he does whatever he wants on the football field. I think he's sick. So I would say Josh Allen for sure. And I think the secret's out. Like I don't think the league's afraid to crown somebody not named Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. I think that's kind of where we're at for a minute there. I think Josh Allen could have had 2 or 3 by now, but I think he's going to rattle off a few now. For Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go Ashton Genty. I appreciate the vote of confidence for Cam Ward. I think he's more than capable of it. But I've texted this to you all. The Raiders have 5 wide receivers on the roster right now. 2 are rookies. 1 is Jacoby Myers, who's publicly asked for a trade, and 1 is Amari Cooper, who was first with the Raiders 2015. All that says to me is that they are going to run the ball. So I think Ashton Genty is worth the hype and deserves to tote the rock as much as he can. And I think they're setting themselves up to either throw to Brock Bowers or turn around and hand it to Ashton Genty standing straight up. So I think he'll win Offensive Rookie of the Year. After that, we have Michael Williams out of the 49ers. I would encourage everyone to throw that highlight tape up and watch Michael from the Georgia Bulldogs. Edge rusher, one of my favorite players from the draft. I mean, I think he's a physical freak. He's got like a lot of work to do to develop that may not actually pan out for this first year, and he may not be as pro ready as like an Abdul Carter. But I think if he like kind of unlocks something in this next level, I mean, he's going to play a ton. I think the Niners need him. Maybe he can play a little bit of cleanup from Nick Bosa's attention that he's going to get. But I love Michael Williams, and this is just wishful thinking at this point that he's Defensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year. Then I have the Offensive Player of the Year is Bijan Robinson. I think he's kind of poised for that. Like I said, I think the Falcons offense is setting themselves up to just like take off. And I think he's going to be a huge part of that. I think it's going to really run through him, both passing and off, passing, running. They're just going to have to run, they're going to go where 7 goes. So I think that's going to set him up to have, a chance to be Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, this is another big swing. Jared Verse just came off a Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's capable of the same thing, 17, 18 plus sacks. And it's just going to get better. I was very low on Jared Verse for no other reason other than like I just didn't really see it coming out of Florida State. I was way wrong. His bull rush is pretty just unstoppable. I mean, he's just literally putting bigger men than him on the rear ends 90% of the time. So I would be very comfortable to say Jared Verse could make a huge leap and be Defensive Player of the Year. Comeback player, yeah, I'm still pretty confident that I don't fucking know. I don't know who's in or out, frankly. I've racked my brain of like who was hurt, who maybe had a big injury that would be coming back that would play such an impact for a team. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey is for sure that person.
Touch.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I don't think on that side of the ball is definitely. I don't think about that one as often. That's true. So yeah, I could see Aiden Hutchinson for sure. I mean, you come back and you have 15 plus sacks, Lions make the playoffs. That's absolutely worthy of a comeback player, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, am I missing anybody that was like,
Jack?
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, I mean, again, those are up there. So like, I'd go with them, I guess, if I didn't, if I had to choose. But I don't know. I'm trying to like.
Aaron Rodgers.
Justin Jefferson was he kind of hurt? Like, what do you qualify? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
That one was
Ryan
a tough
Tannehill.
one. That one was a tough one. I didn't really know.
No, it is. No, I mean, it's an award that's given out, so I mean, it is what it is. But
I mean, Daniel Jones, I could see qualifying.
that actually that's probably a good one because like Ryan Tannehill won just from going from being a release from the Dolphins to just playing again.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of fair. That's probably a good one to keep your eye on, Daniel Jones. Unfortunately. So yeah, and then last but not least, Raheem Morris, kind of just sticking with my theme. I think it only makes sense if I'm this high on the Falcons. I'm just kind of deductive reasoning that Raheem Morris, if they're as good as I'm thinking they're going to be, then that's actually it's a big leap, and he probably qualify for Coach of the Year if what I'm thinking happens. So yeah, we'll see what Raheem does.
All right, that's the end of the awards segment. Move into what we got here. Let's cancel. Let's get this off here. All right, moving on. We'll touch real quick. I want to transition real quick. Should I be drafting Bijan at number 2? I got confirmation that Jamar Chase is not going to be there. So my hopes and dreams.
Jahmyr Gibbs, bro.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, that's who I was going to pick, but like Bijan's like second pick and everything that every draft I've seen, every analysis. I mean, Jake, you're super high on him. I just like, am I overlooking something? So,
I mean, again, I just called Bijan the Offensive Player of the Year, but I mean, we're talking about fantasy football, and Jahmyr Gibbs is so sick.
So yeah, sorry, Michael, but he's going to be gone at pick number 2.
All right, I anticipated that.
So moving on. Question of the week: Super Bowl winner and why? I'll go first. I've got the homer pick. I'm going the Bengals. They run. It just the offense has had their first normal preseason, I think, ever. Joe Burrow has completed a healthy preseason, OTAs, all of it. There's no contract issues with anybody. The only one that, on the offensive side of the ball, I think the Dalton Risner guard pickup today is going to be great. But I mean, I was high on him before that. Like, probably a homer pick, but I really just think that offense is going to click. If that defense is even 25% better, that's going to flip into 12, 13 wins this year instead of sitting at 8-9 last year, 9-8. So that's who I'm going with. Aiden, was your Super Bowl winner and why?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we got you, bro.
You're cutting off, dude. My computer's about to die. I got the Ravens, dude. I think this is the year we've all been waiting for. Lamar Jackson is at MVP peak right now. I think our defense is looking elite. I mean, we have a strong running game. We got a few receivers. I think we have all the pieces there to make it to win the Super Bowl. And Jordan paid me $20, and then I run to freaking Chipotle. And I think one guy I do have high hopes for is Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers will have a breakout season this year. Been watching him recently, past couple seasons. I think this season is going to be a breakout season for Zay Flowers. And then I think it's probably that missing piece I was talking about earlier. So yeah, I'm going with the Ravens.
Ravens. I got Michael around the block here.
Well, as much as it hurts to say, I got to go with the Ravens as well. I just think – but my thing is it's not Flowers, it's Likely. I think if they play Likely instead of Andrews, they're very dangerous. I mean, Likely was a dog last year. In that first game we watched at B-Dubs against the Chiefs, and I love Andrews. Andrews is great, but we were a dropped Andrews pass away from seeing the Ravens in the AFC Championship. So I think they make the jump. Their defense is always good. Harbaugh's been there. He's done it before. Lamar should have been the MVP last year. He was the best quarterback in football. He had better stats than he did the year prior. Just voters' fatigue. I mean, Allen's great, but Lamar's the best player in football right now. I still think my Lions go. I think we have all the guys. It's a culture thing. I don't think people realize how much Campbell's involved with those scripts offensively. He's an offensive coach who played tight end. Morton is the new offense coordinator. He was with the Lions previously, went to the Broncos, and they brought him back. And then Kelvin Shepard is the new DC, who's been in the system before. He was a linebackers coach under Glenn for the past few years. So I don't think they win 15 games. I think they win 11 or 12. But I still think we have the number on our division. We have our number against the Vikings, the Packers, and we'll see about Ben Johnson. But like you said, Jake, I think we split with them. I think we go to the Super Bowl, but I just think Lamar wins it. I think he's a changer. I got Ravens.
Jake?
Yeah, honestly, for all the same reasons that they have said, but for Buffalo, I think that, literally the same script. I think Josh Allen is the best player in football. I think his team is primed and ready. They've been there. They've done it. They've been so close. They've tasted the appearance of a Super Bowl. They haven't actually been in one, but they're still interesting in the sense that it's not like they went out and did a whole lot. They retained Shakir or extended him, I believe. Keon Coleman's in his second year. They went and got Joey Bosa. They brought back Tre'Davious White. They drafted Max Hairston.
Deion Walker.
Yeah, they do have Deion Walker. So their culture, I think, just is doing their culture is what will get them right back to the AFC Championship. And again, I think it's an experience thing. Those AFC teams are just so doggone like, just what am I trying to say here? Like just seasoned. You know, everyone has been there at some point. Lamar, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen have been to at least one, if not two, AFC championships each at this point. And so that's crazy. On the other side of the ball, toss up. But I think you make a good point about the Lions. Like I think we live Hayden.
He just froze up. Right?
Yeah, at least he's just hanging around for the end of this. But yeah, I think the Lions make a lot of sense just because again they've been so close. They've got this playoff experience. Like it really does come down to I think the experience and why you see the Commanders kind of fizzle out. They obviously gave it everything they had, but like they're gonna come back. They've got their feet wet. They know how to get through the stages of the playoffs. But then you run into the Lions or you run into the Eagles, and they've been there multiple times, and that changes a lot of things. But so yeah, that's the tough thing about the AFC is it's just a buzzsaw. All those teams know what to do when they get there. It's just going to be a matter of who withstands the other the longest. And I think this year the Bills find a way. I don't know how they haven't years past. So I think that like
I like it.
They've got to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And I think when they get there, I think once they get to the Super Bowl, it's going to be such a relief that they're just going to go out there and just ball. Whoever, you know what I mean? Like, I feel bad for whatever NFC team runs into the Bills. Like, I think it's just such a long time coming. When they get there, it'll just be, juggernaut.
I think the biggest help to any either Buffalo, Baltimore, or Cincinnati is getting the 1, 2, and 3 seeds locked up to where the Chiefs have to go on the road, where the Chiefs only get to play the wild card at home, and then they're traveling on the road the rest of the time.
Yeah, I think if Bills get that first seed, they did last year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It worked in their favor until obviously they ran into the inevitable.
The thing with the Bills is over the Ravens, where I'd have more faith in the Bills than the Ravens is the Bills haven't choked it away. They've showed up, and I mean, like it's been down to
they
the
didn't
wire.
beat themselves.
The Ravens, like Lamar will get there, and then it's just like they just get killed. Like
I didn't love that the Bills thought that they could just kind of milk their way to you know what I mean? Like they kind of. I saw it. They had a lead, and they just put themselves in these too many situations to give the ball back to Kansas City. They kept trying to push their own way to run the clock down and kind of, they almost, it seemed like they just tried to get Kansas City to tap out, and they're not going to. You know what I mean? Like, I think they tried to beat Kansas City last year by submission, and it just, you gotta go knock them out. And I think that was the only thing.
Like a bad, reference to Calipari taking the air out of the ball against Wisconsin in 2015. You'd have just played offense instead of running the play clock down.
Yeah,
we've had a perfect season.
Yeah.
But I get that parallel. Yeah, with the Bills, what they did. So
yeah, I don't know. I just you watch that game and you see them get up and you see them seem like they're in control, and it's just like you cannot give them an inch. They're too good. They're too good. So, like I said, they just gotta really buckle down and try to pull this one through. But I think the Bills are strong, and it's a frequent Buffalo visitor. Oh my God, I think the city would burn. I think it would be insane.
100%.
I wouldn't go for months. Which, I mean, Super Bowl's in February. I wouldn't be going to Buffalo anyways. But my goodness.
Michael, I did lie. The Bills were not the 1 seed. The Chiefs won 15-2 last year. So
you're right. Yeah. Because they had the Dolphins. Was that last year?
Yeah, that was it was 2 years ago. It was the freezing, cold game out there. Let's see. All right, moving on. Last segment. I know we lost Adan. We're just going to keep rolling. our power rankings, which were kind of to put Aiden on his toes real quick and come up with some. Michael, quarterback top 3, running back top 3, wide receiver top 3, and defensive player top 3.
Gotcha.
Go.
I'm going to say for quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson. So he's the best. I mean, it's close, but still, statistically, he's the best quarterback in football. Like he throw 3 interceptions last year or something? They weren't even his fault.
Yeah.
If you go watch them, really
crazy.
his fault, man. And he's the best running back. So yeah, he's the best quarterback. I got Josh Allen at 2. My third, I wanted to put Joe Burrow, Jordan, but wins are a quarterback stat, and he just didn't win last year enough. I have Jaden Daniels at 3 and Joe Burrow at 4 right now, just because he willed his team to the playoffs. Now this can switch, but he did will his team to the playoffs. So that
Top 3 in the league over Mahomes, over
Mahomes had
Stafford.
For himself, Mahomes had a average year or below average year. Threw a lot of interceptions, and some of that was he didn't have his receiving targets, and he has some old guy at tight end. But
I think I think. Are you like a recency bias guy? Because I can look from like a 10,000-foot view and think like,
this is power rankings going into this season. For me, that's how I did it. That's how I did it. Going into this next season.
I think that's fair.
I wanted to put Burrow. I'm pretty sure I had Burrow typed out.
I may adjust some of mine because I was looking at like who the best 3 players in the NFL are at that position. But I may change mine.
Okay, that's fine.
I would have to argue Mahomes is still a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
For sure.
If you're going off of who is playing coming off the best season, and I can see that. I can see Jaden Daniels for sure.
That's what I interpreted as power rankings. And then my other.
I noticed you didn't say Jalen Hurts. Why is that?
Game manager. Pretty boy. Get him out of here. All right, receiver. Jamar Chase is the best receiver in football last year. I got Jettas at 2 still. He's just a playmaker. Then I got CeeDee Lamb. So when I thought about this, I just thought, who are game breakers? Who are people? And I love my Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love T. Higgins. I like a big receiver. But who is a guy that's like you're shadowing a safety to their side of the field because they're going to go under you, they're going to go over you. I think Lamb's one of those guys. I've seen him take over against my Lions. Jetta's obviously, before last year, he was the best guy, I think, consensus. But Chase, the numbers speak for themselves. So going into this year, I expect him to have another big year. Got him at 1. Running back position's changed, obviously, over the past 5 years. It's a hybrid position. I think Gibbs is the best overall right now, receiving and running. Just putting up numbers, him scoring touchdowns. Close second, but I got Barkley there. Obviously, he had a monster season last year. Those guys, I think you could switch out maybe. I expect Gibbs to have a bigger year than Barkley. The other thing is Gibbs splits a lot of his carries with Montgomery, which I hope they keep doing for health reasons. But I still think he's better. Then at 3, I get Derrick Henry, who out of nowhere, honestly, I kind of thought he was going to the Ravens to die, but he was awesome. They could put the team on his back. He was great, man. I hate to say it, Jordan, but it's a couple games I watched where he had some runs for first downs with 2 minutes left that ended the game. He's the guy. He's like, oh, you need to hand the ball to me 3 times. We need to get 10 yards. I can do that for you.
Yeah, he's like a brick shit.
Mike Vrabel hired.
I like for defense. I thought I was going to put all edge guys because obviously it's the most valuable position on the defensive side of the ball. I'm kind of biased on this guy just because he's like the Hulk, but Myles Garrett, I have at 1. I just think, again, he's kind of like just banished away to Cleveland in games that don't matter. But again, game breaker, a guy you're going to have to double, a guy you're going to have to account for. He's going to open up for his teammates. I just think he's the best player on that side of the ball in the NFL right now. My second, Pat Surtain, lockdown corner. A guy you can put on one of those game breakers I was talking about earlier and have a chance. And you can put on not even an average receiver, a good receiver, and they're just out of the game. That's it. That's super valuable to have. And then 3, this is a little biased. I have Hutchinson at 3 only because last year, through 5 games or something, he led the NFL in sacks, got hurt against the Cowboys, and he still led the NFL in sacks like 3 or 4 weeks later. He just was ahead of the pack. Against the Bucs, he had like 4 sacks. Mayfield, again, like Garrett, can't put it there because the numbers aren't there. I think he's as good as anyone on the edge as far as game-breaking ability. So that's mine.
Jake?
So, yeah, I will go with quarterback. Number 1 is Josh Allen. Number 2 is Lamar Jackson, and I will give Burrow the 3rd spot. I don't have anything wrong with the take of wins being a quarterback stat, but I mean, if he had those wins, that's an MVP season by Joe Burrow. It was remarkable. The numbers that he put up, and I mean, I love Joe. I think Joe's a fantastic quarterback. So I put him 3rd going into the season. I think that's pretty safe, and he's got all of his guys back. So can't you don't expect him to regress with that. For wide receiver, I'm going to give it to Justin Jefferson. This is both. I mean, I may not have had the better season last year, but this is where I'm going to stick with my opinion that this is the best receiver in the NFL. I think Justin Jefferson is the best. Jamar Chase is fantastic and right there with him. I think it just speaks to those 2 guys that it's that hard to choose. It's just whoever's quarterback decides to be better, I guess, that year. But I think if I had to choose between the 2, I'm probably taking Justin Jefferson. And then 3rd, AJ Brown. I think AJ is that guy that you're trying to find. I don't think CD is a bad pick, but AJ Brown is that guy for me. I think that AJ Brown is not going to end up being like some kind of like lost, forgotten player by any means, or have some like let down career. He has a Super Bowl ring now. He's considered elite. He's got all the like this, but I'm a little afraid that like the Eagles could almost waste him by being just such a super team, in the sense that like I think he could just have like he could be the number 1 receiver in the league, but they got this just abundance of wealth in Philadelphia that like I don't know how many people recognize that he's as good as he is. I think he can do anything he wants on a football field. He's deep threat, slant, God. I mean, he can do it all, and nobody can tackle the man. I think he's fantastic, and he's got some of the best hands, probably behind Justin Jefferson, that I've ever seen. I think he's insane. Makes me sick every day seeing him in a different uniform. But I think AJ Brown could be better than both of those players if somebody just said we're going to throw it to AJ Brown 15 times a game. But that's just me. Running back, pretty much the same. I'm going to go with Gibbs. I'm going to go with Barkley, and then Bijan would be my 3rd guy. And yeah, I think it's just going to probably just kind of they're all just kind of leapfrog each other over the course of the year. I don't know if Barkley can replicate what he did last year. I think he just kind of lightning in a bottle and just rode the excellence of that offensive line. They could do it again. I don't know. But I think what Gibbs and Bijan are able to do in the passing game and just their offenses, I think they're just going to prove to be fantastic. So we'll see what they do. On defense, my number 1 is Pat Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year. I was really hoping somebody would bring him up, just because you got to bring up the reigning defensive player of the year. So I would say it's still Pat Surtain, probably for that reason, more than anything else. But I think he's fantastic. I think he's super talented cornerback. I would also throw Myles Garrett there, just dominance. There's nothing you can really do about him. And then 3rd, this is kind of a little curveball here. Recently just got extended. Kyle Hamilton, I think, is very underrated. Maybe doesn't deserve 3, but I wanted to at least bring him up. I think Kyle Hamilton is a dog. I mean, he can play anywhere on the defense, anywhere along really anywhere in the secondary, in the box. I mean, you can stick him anywhere, and he's just going to make plays. So I think he's getting forgotten just by being a part of that Ravens team that is winning games. You know, maybe it's because of Lamar Jackson. The defense as a whole is just recognized as being strong, but I don't think they're nearly as good if Kyle Hamilton was not a Raven. So I think he's a huge impact to their team. And then just, you know, I think he's a unicorn out there from a safety standpoint. So those are my positions.
I like it. I like Hamilton pick.
I do too. Forget about Hamilton a little bit.
I think his position, it's hard to pick a safety for that.
Yeah, and I think, but I think that's, you know, that's his, that, you know, that's where he transcends, and he's kind of playing everywhere. So
Sure. I mean, he's a hoss for sure. I see him. They put him in the box and stuff. I mean, he could be like an edge, linebacker or something.
Yeah, no,
like
play a little bit. He plays a little slot corner, a little nickel. You know, again, just kind of almost as a linebacker hybrid, just kind of hanging out. He's just, you know, to me, he fits 3 because he's just a defensive player. Like he's just plays defense. You know, he's positionless at that point. So like if you look at a defensive player, throw him out there, you know, you're gonna get turnovers, sacks, you know, tackles, you know, run defense. He's strong. So I like Kyle Hamilton.
I like it. All right, Jordan, what do you got?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with quarterback. Burrow, number 1. I mean, Jake, I'm glad you said it. Like, if the wins were there last year, like,
yeah,
Burrow had MVP on lock, and there was no discussion on, you know, voter fatigue or anything like that. They make the playoffs. He's got MVP on lock. That was a hell of a season, and I think this season's going to be better. So,
if anything, I mean, if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Or
you're bringing that one back.
You're saying I hear you.
It's a good point, though.
Ifs and buts are candies and nuts. And
hey, don't steal mine.
A better argument would be Burrow didn't lose those games.
Right. Burrow did not lose those. When you scored 45 points, you did not lose the game.
Oh, I hear you.
So
I agree with that. Yeah, he would have been MVP.
Then I got Josh Allen, and then I got Lamar Jackson. Those 3. I mean, we've touched on it already multiple times.
I think it's just important. Like, you can play at an MVP level and not deserve it. You know what I mean? Like that's why he's a top 3 quarterback for me. Like he played at an MVP level, but he didn't deserve it that year. But I hear what you mean. You know, it's all optics. You win 4 more games. You're in the playoffs. Yeah,
you don't start 0-3 and you take care of the Patriots.
Yeah.
What Anthony doesn't go through the back of a receiver half a second early in the Chiefs game, and then you don't. If Will Levis doesn't lose his mind and hand the football to Tyreek Stevenson against the Bears, then maybe he's still a Tennessee Titan, and we don't have Cam Ward. So, you know, it's just is he not still a Titan? Isn't he just out for the year?
He is on the IR, yeah.
Yeah. So he's still there. Mayo boy.
Great. Thank you for the reminder.
Running back, I'm gonna go Gibbs, Bijan, and then Henry. I just think that those 3 going into this season are probably going to be top 3. I kind of forgot about Barkley a little bit until y'all mentioned it, not going to lie. But I'm sticking with my 3. I just, yeah.
Quick breaking news from Adan here. Not only is Travis Hunter and his wife not filing a divorce, they're expecting a child. That's what he saw.
What a turn of events.
They are no longer getting a divorce. Breaking news: they are expecting a child though. So,
hey, what do they always say? Children save marriages. He could still be right. He could still be right, and this is the way to try and save it.
Does that change Aiden's offensive rookie of the year pick? He doesn't have a chip anymore.
Yeah, no longer a chip on his shoulder, but fatherhood. So priorities, offense, defense, changing diapers. That's I don't know, man. He's got a lot on his plate.
Wow.
All right, back to it. Where's that? Gibbs, Bijan, Henry. I think those 3 are going to be the best running backs of the year. I think Barkley's going to be right there. I don't know if maybe the Eagles will have a letdown or it's just they've been so good for so long you just kind of forget about them out there. Or Bijan and Jameer are going to take that next step because I feel like Derrick Henry's been at that level for years now. Wide receiver, Michael, I've got the same as you. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. Defensive players, I will piggyback off y'all with Pat Surtain. Forgot about cornerback. That dude's legit. Can't not give it to him. And then Myles Garrett and TJ Watt.
I like it.
TJ Watt. Not JJ Watt.
Very nice. Yeah. We'll I want to revisit this. I want to extend it to 10 later. Because my wide receiver list, I need to get some things off my chest, but we'll save it.
Yeah.
We
do
can
it.
extend it. I like it.
Yeah.
I think
No.
receivers are an interesting group too. It's a lot
Going
of
into the season, number 10, J-Mo. Take it or leave it.
I can believe it. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Love him.
And don't pick him because I'm going to pick him again. I had him last year. Our new coordinator, Morton, he's actually going to send him deep. That's the word around town. And he put on some muscle. So
I saw something today that was like for everybody getting off the J-Mo train because of Tesla. They're like, picture it this way. You got Tesla going deep now, and that's just gonna have J-Mo coming across the screen. Nice deep crosser, just pulling defense over here, taking Tesla away.
it's another guy to stretch the field. Because Amon-Ra, remember, he doesn't stretch the field. And Khalif Raymond's the other guy. Actually, he used to be a Titan.
He sure did. Yeah.
He's quick, but he's not big. He's not.
No, I mean, he doesn't. He's never. Yeah, I mean, he's quick for like what he's doing when he comes in. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you can't like pull one over. Like you can't change him up around the offense. It's like you're gonna have Amon-Ra doing something. Tesla's gonna stretch the field, and then here comes Jameson Williams across the middle of the field, wide open.
He's faster than everyone.
Just lay it out. Oh my God, lay it out in front of him and just start heading to the end zone.
We say after week 5, we revisit these power rankings and see where we're at for the season.
I like it.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
So next week we'll have our first pick 'em.
Yeah, next week will be the first pick 'em. So,
Week 1. Lions are at Lambeau. I don't know where the Titans at.
Oh my gosh, it's a tough week 1.
I know, man.
Holy
I'm
smokes!
just glad it's good when it's warm out. I'm just glad when it's warm. I don't want to. We played there a couple years ago. Aaron Rodgers' last game was the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Reason.
Wow, that just to me, like, the implications of that game,
Huge.
3 months later is going to be, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So wow. Titans are in Denver, so bit of a buzzsaw. They're going to have Pat Surtain, Nick Bonito running him down. That whole defense is just going to be
that's going to be a tough week 1 for Cam Ward.
It is. If he can just come out with, no serious mistakes, like whatever. They're probably not going to win, but if he can, I'd like to see like some points at least. I don't care if they're garbage time. Like I need to see that the offense is competent and the defense is tough. Don't get me wrong, but like we're led to believe that this is an improved defense. Callahan's supposed to be a good play caller, offensive coach. Like there's got to be some steps to it. And even if you're playing a good team, like if you can't put up 24 points in the NFL today in 2025, you're not really doing anything for me. So like if you go out there and you put up 17 points, that's pretty disappointing, I think. Even if they're a good defense, like that's fine. But I don't know how many points the Broncos held the NFL to last year, but like you got this brand new quarterback that can air it out and stretch the field and do all these things. You got Tony Pollard back, Calvin Ridley. You gotta do something. You gotta show that you're alive out there. There's some kind of pulse. So, like I said, I'm not expecting them to win. I have no idea I'm sure the lines aren't out yet. Probably next week we'll see those. Play a little guess that line. I would
I like that.
guess 7.5 for the Broncos. I think they're probably gonna factor all that in. Rookie quarterback, strong defense.
Yeah,
7.5. That seems
that's solid.
Seems fair.
that may be generous. I don't know.
The Broncos held teams, their average points per game given up was 18.3.
Wow.
Third best in the NFL behind the Chargers and the Eagles.
It's tough. Yeah,
That
that's
good.
that's tough. Yeah, so I think 7.5. I don't know. That's usually pretty strong. That's usually pretty high for NFL games. They usually sit around like 3, 4 points. But again, I don't know, maybe 7's high. So
All right, guys. I think that's where we'll end it for episode 2. It's been a great time with y'all. Obviously, give us any feedback. Let us know if you want to join the show or got any questions you want answered. Shoot them our way, and we'll be back next week for episode 3.
Yes, sir. All righty.
sweet.
Peace.
Thanks.
See y'all later.